Office of Public Defender.
All right, well, we're waiting to, if we got anyone coming up, we'll start with our 33-day motions. Tamarcus Clayton Reynolds, 21 CF 15495 AO.
Granted, and no information notice was filed.
All right. Christopher Nahart, 21 CF 15420 AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Juan Fernandez Cruz, 21 CF 15484 AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Jaquil Smith, 21 CF 15488 AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Albert Williams Jr., 21 CF 15244 AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Andrea Sharber, 21 MM 8653 AO.
Denied, and information was filed.
Leonidas Contreras Martinez, 21 CF 15336 AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Jeffrey Dean Fuller, 21 CF 15543 AO.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Is that everything that you have?
Yes, Judge.
Do we know if they're bringing, was there anyone downstairs? Okay.
Judge, can we start with the two felonies for, incorporation?
Yeah. You ready?
We'll come. Yeah, instead of the, going.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Laura Arroyo, State Certified Interpreter and previously sworn.
All right. If you could let me know when you make contact with the headphones.
Yes, Your Honor. 1 second, please.
All right.
Connection is established.
All right. Your name, sir?
Guillermo Rodríguez Rivera.
Guillermo Rodriguez Rivera.
You are here in 2020 CF 7608 AO on a violation of probation on one count of criminal mischief to property, 2 counts. According to this affidavit, the sheet says 2,500. Where does it say that on the VOP affidavit? That looks like the bottom of the guy. Does anyone have a copy of the VOP warrant? There's a sheet that says $2,500 the warrant. The actual warrant I have bottom. Anyone have a copy of it?
I'm reading it, Your Honor.
Oh, not from him. Just,
Oh, I can see
yeah.
it.
Just from me.
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah. All right, $2,500. I'll appoint the office of the public representative. Your name, sir?
Gioberti Adrian Rivera. Gioberti Adrian Rivera.
Gioberti Adran Rivera.
You are here in case number 2020 CF 4226, one count of violation of community control on an aggravated stalking after injunction. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. We can bring Mr. Mejia out. Right, all right. Oh, is it this Mejia? Oh, it is. Here you go. All right, ma'am, your name?
My name is Reina Mejia.
You are here in case number 2022 MM 150AO, one count of battery domestic violence. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, and will appoint the office of the public defender. Is there anybody here for Reina Mejia? Any input from the state?
You just ask for reasonable.
Oh, we do have someone? Oh, we do have someone. Do you need the interpreter? All right, Madam
¿Quiere
Interpreter,
usted
if you
un
could interpret
intérprete?
for the witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your name?
Su nombre?
Vicky.
Vicky.
Your last name, Vicky?
Vicky, su
Castillo.
apellido. Castillo.
You were listed as the alleged victim in this case.
Le tienen a usted aquí como la presunta víctima en el caso.
Is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think I should consider in determining her release?
¿Hay algo que usted desea decirme o hay algo que usted desea que yo tenga en consideración en el momento de contemplar concederle libertad?
Vine a retirar los casos.
I came here to ask for the case to be withdrawn.
Do you live together?
¿Viven juntos?
Sí,
Yes.
Do you want her to come home?
¿Usted desea que ella regrese a la vivienda?
sí,
Yes.
Are you in fear for your safety?
¿Usted tiene temor para su seguridad?
no,
No.
State, do you have any questions for her?
¿La fiscalía tiene alguna pregunta que hacerle?
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
Defense, do you have any questions for her?
¿La defensa tiene alguna pregunta?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ninguna, su señoría.
Any input from the state?
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond and no hostile given the victim's testimony.
Any input from the defense?
Reasonable bond conditions, Your Honor.
Did I appoint the public defender?
Yes.
All right.
If so, then reasonable bond conditions, the request, Your Honor.
I'll set your bond at $250. No hostile contact with the alleged victim. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, do you need me to,
if-
I did translate that for the defendant. Do you need it out loud for the victim as well?
Please.
Muy bien, entonces a la señora se le concede fianza de $250. Estará prohibida ella de tener ningún tipo de contacto hostil con la víctima y prohibida ella tenencia de armas de fuego o cuchillos o arma alguna.
Thank you.
Gracias.
No hostile, no guns, knives, or weapons. 250. Yep. There you go. All right. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a nice
weekend.
day. You too.
Your name, sir?
Louis Force.
All right, sir, 2022 MM13AA, you're here on one count of loitering or prowling. I think we rolled you from the other day. You were in the hospital, and I think there was an offer in this case. Is that
There
correct?
is, Your Honor. The offer that the state conveyed was an adjudication, credit time served, and no return to the area.
All right, sir, so the offer in your case is adjudication of guilt, credit time served, which means whatever days you spend in jail you get, and a no return to the scene. I did find probable cause, and I'll stay your bond at 500. Did you want to walk out of here with your bond, or did you want to accept the offer and resolve your case?
Public defender.
I'm sorry?
Speak to my public defender.
I haven't appointed a public defender, because I don't have a sheet that said you asked for one. Oh, yeah, all right. You want to talk to him? 6, 7, so it's 2 days, credit for 2.
Your Honor, after speaking with Mr. Force, I believe he wishes to resolve today with the state's offer.
All right. What do you need? Or what are you looking for? You got a plea form from him?
He's signing it now, Your Honor.
All right.
May I approach?
Yep. All right, sir, your attorney's handed me a plea form. Is this your signature on it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Understand it?
Yes.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
I understand.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. There'll be a no return to 535 Cooper Commerce Drive in Apopka. Your costs, I'll give you a year to pay, 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. 2. Your name, sir?
Ricky Walt.
All right, sir, 2020 CF 13835AO, you're on a violation of probation on one kind of aggravated assault with a weapon. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, okay? Thank you.
Your Honor, I do believe we have a private defense attorney appearing on Cisco. I don't know if you've logged on to that yet.
Okay, let's see. Oh, your name, sir? Your name, sir? All right, sir, 2022 CF 155AO, you're here on one count of escape, one count of resisting officer without violence, one count of trespass on property after warning. You were here yesterday, but you seemed a little out of it, and so I rolled it 24 hours so you get your bearings. You weren't sure where you were or where anything was. Do you feel better today?
A lot better than yesterday. That's
Okay, all right,
I'm more comfortable with these two because they think I'm a
Excuse me,
threat.
Judge.
all right.
See,
Try it this way. If we can't get it right this way, we'll reset you for another time.
That's it.
Give me 1 second, then I'll let you say or do whatever you need to do, okay? So you're here for this escape charge, resisting officer without violence, trespass on property. I asked you this question yesterday, and that's kind of where we ended. Did you want to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or see if you qualify for the services of the public defender?
A private?
Okay. Do you know who you're gonna hire?
No, I don't.
Okay. So the purpose of today's hearing,
We'll just finish it up today. How about that?
what do you mean by finish it up?
We just finished decisions and all that today.
Okay. So you want to go forward today without a lawyer?
Sure.
Yeah, I need a yes or a no.
Yes.
Okay. All right, state any input with regards to release on count 1, review the affidavit, found probable cause.
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond as you could hold him no bond, however, given the charge and given the allegations from the affidavit and his history, state has no objection to a reasonable bond.
All right, sir, understand that as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That being said, is there anything that you want to tell me with regards to conditions of your release? And you don't have to say anything if you don't want to say anything. Okay. All right, I'll set your bond on count one at $7,500, count two I'll reduce to $100, and count three I'll reduce to $100, okay? All right, thank you.
Your Honor, state we just asked for a no return due to the
To-
trespass. It was at 9,000 Avenue Point Circle,
What is that?
the World Gateway.
Okay. All right, while you're out on release, don't go back there, okay? All right, thank you.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
All right, sir, your name?
William Campos.
All right, 22 MM127 AO, were you able to find a lawyer?
Yeah, he should be here right now.
Who's your lawyer?
Tim W. Terry.
Okay. Do we have Mr. Terry online? Who's supposed to appear online?
Jerry Luxembourg, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What case are you
him.
here on?
On case number, for Mr. Standing Bear, case number 2018 CF 6863.
It's a VOP, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll get to you in just a minute.
Thank you.
All right. So Mr. Campos, no lawyer here yet. You want me to just put you in the back and I'll wait till, see if anyone shows up?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, so I'll put you at the end of the line. At some point, we'll bring you back.
Would you just grab Standing Bearer, or you want to go with?
Well, is Maurice Jones next? Yeah, and we have an attorney for that one, right? Yep. All right, sir, your name?
Maurice Jones.
All right, 2022 CF 103 AO, and counsel your name for the record.
Maurice Jones.
No,
Attorney Luciana Walker for the record, Your Honor.
all right, so he's here on one count of first-degree murder with a firearm via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, his bond is set at no bond. Any input from the state with regards to release?
Yes, Your Honor, given that he is charged with a capital offense, state is asking that you hold him no bond at this time pending an Arthur hearing in the trial division at a later time.
All right, any input from the defense?
We are intending to hopefully get bond, Your Honor. Notwithstanding this charge, he has no violent priors. He is very established in the community, lived here his whole 35 years, family and kids here. So we do intend to hopefully get bond.
All right, let me take a look here. Pull him up again. I know we briefly went over it yesterday. All right. I previously reviewed the affidavit in support of the arrest warrant. I do find proof evident, presumption great. I'm gonna stay his bond at no bond for the time being. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And sir, all that means is that, your attorney, is gonna file a motion with the judge that's actually assigned to the case, where we can hear, some more testimony, some more evidence, we got more information to base this on. Right now, the determination's based on some pretty limited information. So just hang tight and she'll see about getting you out, okay? All right, thank you. Anything else?
Nothing further, Your
Thank you.
Honor. Thank you.
You want to go with Standing Bearer, Judge?
Scott, what case do you have?
He's for Mr. King.
Oh, good morning, Your Honor. Scott Messing for Mr. King,
Okay,
Roy King.
we have Roy King?
Yes, sir.
All right,
What section is he in?
yep.
What section? What is he here for? What is he here for? Trafficking.
Okay. All right, sir, your name?
First name Roy, last name King, sir.
All right, and what's Mr. King charged with? Or arrested for, I guess?
Your Honor, trafficking, actually, there was a arrest warrant, so it was a magistrate apparently issued an arrest warrant for trafficking fentanyl, trafficking heroin, possession of methamphetamine with a weapon, possession, firearm by convicted felon, possession, ammunition by convicted felon.
He's on the second session, right? Yeah, give us a second to just, I gotta find the paperwork. That's why I was trying to figure out where you were in the paperwork based on the charge.
1 o'clock?
Felony,
So we come back at 1 o'clock, sir?
No.
Oh.
You wanna do it right now, right?
Well, I'd love that, please, Your Honor.
So give us a second to get the
Oh.
paperwork.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I went through all of them this morning already, so I just gotta, there it is, all right. All right, so, Roy King, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, 2021 CF 15883 AO, trafficking in heroin greater than 14 grams, less than 28 grams with a weapon. Trafficking in fentanyl, 14 grams or more, possession of a concealed weapon or firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of methamphetamine with a weapon. This is via arrest warrant. According to this arrest warrant, your bond is set at 200,000 on count 1, 100,000 on 2, 5,000 on 3, 5,000 on 4, 100,000 on 5, with conditions: no weapons or firearms, no drugs or alcohol. Mr. Messenger, did you want to tell me anything here?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a couple of cases I already gave to state, and I'd like to give to the court also. The first is Gresham v. State of Florida, 725 Southern 2nd 419. And, Your Honor, I will try to make it brief, which calls upon the Blockberger test concerning double jeopardy. It doesn't deal with drugs specifically, but this case, as well as common sense interpretation of the statute proscribing trafficking, mentions that trafficking in an offense includes a mixture. It would appear that Orlando Police Department has asked this court to find probable cause for two separate crimes, trafficking heroin and trafficking fentanyl, when it appears that someone, I don't know if it was Orlando or FDLE, put both substances in a big party mix and came out with results for both fentanyl and heroin in the same quantity, arising out of the same mixture. If that were the case, then if there were traces of cocaine, he could be charged with trafficking cocaine, traces of meth, et cetera, et cetera. And clearly that's not the intent of the statute. So we'd ask the court to find that there is no PC either for the meth or the heroin. I don't have an argument as to one, but in the alternative, I'm making my argument. And the second argument, Your Honor, would be as to the firearms charges, possession convicted, firearm by convicted felon, possession ammo. First of all, that's double jeopardy. Secondly, the Orlando Police Department officer seems to have come up with a hybrid charge, possession of a concealed firearm by a convicted felon. No such thing. It's either possession by convicted felon or possession concealed. But I'm going to ask the court not to find PC on the ammo, the firearm, or the enhancements as they are for the trafficking with a firearm and possession of meth with a weapon, and that is clearly stated in Lamb v. State of Florida, 668 Southern 2nd 666. Man was outside the car, and the court in this case said the man is outside the car could not be convicted of having a firearm that was not readily accessible to him at the time of arrest. And in this case, also, Mr. King, at the time of arrest, was outside a locked car, as in here. May I submit to the court, Your Honor?
Sure.
Thank you.
Have you provided it to the state? Okay. Thank you.
Nothing else. Thank you, Your Honor.
State?
Your Honor, first and foremost, PC has already been found. This is an arrest warrant. Since PC has been found, this court cannot undo PC that a judge has already found when filing this warrant.
Yes, I can. I can absolutely do that at IA.
Double jeopardy doesn't apply. This case hasn't been filed on. 3, in regards to charge 3 not being a charge at 790.231A, which is what it's currently charged as, it reads it's unlawful for a person to have in his care, custody, possession, or to carry a concealed weapon, and A is convicted of a felony in this court of this state. So it's not a made-up charge, as counsel is arguing. In regards to the mixture argument within all of the drug statutes, as well as the trafficking statute, it states that there can be a mixture, and we file everything that's within that mixture that will be on that FDLE report. So as all of those drugs were tested, state can file all of those charges, and a judge found PC for them.
Sure. Well, I mean, at this hearing, I review, I mean, think about it. Every officer that makes an arrest finds PC. I review whether or not they find it or not. Every judge that signs an arrest warrant can be reviewed at this hearing. So I think I have the authority to do it. I mean, I did it for years. So that being said, let me take a look at one thing here.
Your Honor, in addition, count 1 is a life offense, as currently
Well,
charged.
the judge already found a bond on that. Should I not review that?
Your Honor, the bond is up to your discretion, so you can determine whatever bond you set is reasonable. However, state was just bringing it to your attention that it is a life offense.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do with the case. I do think that they can find probable cause on both the trafficking in heroin, the trafficking in fentanyl, or all three, and the trafficking in methamphetamine. I do understand the defense's argument, so what I'll do is I'll stay count 1, and I'll reduce count 2 to $150, count 3 to $150, count 4 to $150, and count 5 to $150. So I don't think it's appropriate to, and even though your client's over there fist pumping, which is probably very inappropriate, some judges might undo that.
I'm sorry, sir.
Your bond's still at $200,000+, but I don't think that it's fair to charge you the full face bond for each count if it in fact is a potpourri of drugs. All right. Anything else? Don't possess any guns, knives, or weapons, but you know that already.
All right.
All right.
I thank the court, Your Honor,
Right.
and I'll brief Mr. King on,
Oh, yeah, was there conditions on there? Don't, yeah, don't possess any drugs or alcohol was on that warrant as well.
and I'll brief Mr. King on appropriate courtroom behavior for
Yeah.
the next time.
That'll
I
help
thank
him
the
out in
court
the
for
future.
excusing.
But he's got plenty of experience in the courtroom, so he knows better.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Oh, see you later. Get out of here. Your name, sir?
Daniel Standing Bear?
All right. What happened to Kamar Thompson? Wasn't he one of the?
Yeah.
All right, and then who? I'm sorry, counsel online. Who? What's your client's name again?
Standing Bear, this is Jerry Luxembourg.
Oh, what's your client's name?
Daniel Standing Bear.
Standing Bear. And what's he charged with?
Violation of probation.
Okay. All right. We'll get to it in just a second. And then your name again?
Daniel Standing Bear.
Okay, that's you, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Your last name starts with the letter S, right?
Correct.
Felony warrants, let's see. Is it the last one? Oh, there you are. Yeah, it's the very last one. All right, 18 CF 6863 AO, violation of probation on a felony battery, bodily harm permanent. According to this warrant, your bond's set at no bond. Anything else, counsel?
I just wanted to know if there was any other program that would allow his release, but let me tell you that I emailed ASA Jenny Rossman yesterday. I was told she was the counsel on the case. I don't know if counsel there representing the state has heard from ASA Rossman.
Anything from Ms. Rossman?
I have not, Your Honor.
No. Did she respond to you, counsel?
No, not yet. No, I sent it to her yesterday afternoon. Haven't heard from her yet. I do believe everybody's working from home in that unit. That's what I was told. So I don't have anything further, but I am aware of the fact that Judge Bleckman signed a no bond.
Right.
And I understand that's where we are. I just didn't know if there was any way the court would hear it, but and or if there was a COVID situation. Other than that, that's sort of where we are.
Okay. Now, at this point, the court's not inclined to do anything other than stay the bond. But if Ms. Rossman gets back to you in the next hour, hour and a half while we're still here, log back on and we'll see what we can do. If she gets back to you and says no objection to something or that we're gonna dismiss it or whatever, and it's worth our time, we'll readdress it, but as of now, we'll stay at no bond.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you, thank you. All right, your name, ma'am? Your name? All right.
You are the only participant.
All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, and your name?
Kamar Thompson.
Kamar Thompson? Okay. Yeah. And who is Thompson's attorney? Yeah.
I didn't believe,
He emailed Kathy this morning and requested for him to be put on Dr. Day.
This is another one. So you have an attorney, James Kelly? All right. We're gonna have you have a seat back there. We're waiting for James Kelly. We'll put you to the end of the docket. And hopefully Mr. Kelly shows up before we finish, okay?
Is it okay for me to even get a phone call to call him?
I'm sorry?
Is it okay to get a phone call to call him?
Well, he knows to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on him.
Okay. Because
All right.
he should have been on 1 o'clock though.
All right, hang tight. We'll wait for him to show up.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's get this train moving. All right, your name?
Isaac Acevedo.
All right, 22 CF 222 AO, one kind of battery on a officer, firefighter, EMT, et cetera. One kind of assault on a, I think it was a law enforcement officer. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender.
it was assault DV, Your Honor.
Was it? I thought this was the one where he spit on the police officer.
A fly flew in my mouth.
I believe he spit on the officer, and that was the bat Leo, and then there was an assault
Oh, right.
on
Thank you.
the adult's son.
Any input from the state?
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond, given he doesn't have any other history, and we don't have victims.
There's Mr. Kelly. Any input from the defense?
It's reasonable bond conditions, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Set count one at $1,500, count two at $100. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. I just said the victim. What's your name, ma'am?
Julia Case.
All right. You're here on two cases. The first one, 2022 CF 207 AO, aggravated assault, dating violence. 2022 CF 208 AO, criminal mischief greater than or equal to $1,000. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. I think the co-defendant / victim's in here as well, right? Is this the car crash one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can we grab, what's the gentleman's name?
Sean Thelwell
I will.
in,
Yeah, Sean Thelwell, THELWELL.
Hello?
Thelwell, Sean the third.
I think he's just a regular misdemeanor battery. I just saw him, yeah. Thelwell is the last name, Sean Thelwell. Thelwell, he's a misdemeanor DV.
Bellwell.
THEL.
Farewell. Sean.
The third. You know this young lady?
Yes, sir.
All right. And your name, sir?
Sean Thurwell.
All right. So, ma'am, you're here in 22 CF 207, which is the aggravated assault, dating violence, and then 22 CF 208 AO, criminal mischief greater than or equal to 1,000. Sir, you are here in 22 MM 142 AO on a battery dating violence. So obviously you guys are both defendants and victims of each other. So, Mr. Thelwell, you're listed as the alleged victim in her case. Is there anything, but understand that you're a defendant as well, is there anything that you want to tell me with regards to conditions of her release?
No.
All right. Do you guys live together?
No, sir.
All right, my understanding is the day you guys broke up, right?
Yes, sir.
Any reason to have contact?
No, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. State, do you have any questions for him?
No, Your Honor, state would just ask for a no contact.
Spence, do you have any questions? I'll appoint the public defender found probable cause on both of their cases.
No questions at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, you guys do not live together, correct?
No, sir.
Any reason to have contact?
No, sir.
All right. State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for her?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. State, any input with regards to release for both of them?
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond. I believe Mr. Elwell has very limited criminal history, and Ms. Case has no criminal history, so state would just ask for reasonable bonds with no contact.
All right. Defense?
Reasonable bond conditions in both cases, Your Honor.
All right. Would they rather do PTR or bond? Would you rather post a monetary bond,
Can you tell me?
sir,
how much my
or would you
bond
rather
is?
go to pretrial release?
Can you tell me how much my bond is first?
500.
All right, the bond.
All right. All right, so I'll set your bond at $500, no contact with the alleged victim, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay? Ma'am, would you rather post a bond or have PTR? Your bond would be $1,000 and $100.
I'll post a bond.
All right, so I'll set your bond at $1,000 on the aggravated assault, dating violence, and $100 on the criminal mischief charge. No contact with the alleged victim, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, and do not intentionally crash any cars, okay? All right, thank you.
You just want the
Mhm.
battery case, right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, sir, your name? What happened to Adam Cole? Well, yeah, I wasn't asking.
Your Honor.
Refused? Okay. Adam Cole, out on bond, Duelis, 21 CF 5474, out on bond on fleeing attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, high speed with wanton disregard, and revoked. Duelis, 21 CF 7397, here today for a Duelis 22 CF 215 and a battery domestic 22 MM 144, temporarily appoint the public defender. He's also got a failure to appear in 21 CT 4500AL. Appoint the public defender waiver roll.
We'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Any? Is there anybody here for Adam or Wesley Cole? Wesley Cole. All right. And I know you're here on the next case, ma'am. So just hang tight. She could stay. Don't worry. We'll get to her in 10 seconds. Any input from the state with regards to release on Cole?
Your Honor, state would ask for reasonable bonds on all his bonds, as well as to stay the no bond on the failure to appear, and to revoke both of his out on bonds, as both had been filed.
Okay. All right. Any input from the defense?
Just reasonable bond conditions, Your Honor.
All right. So the state has filed on the felony Duelis charge.
On the duelist and the fleeing, yes.
All right. I'll revoke those two bonds on the Duelis and the fleeing and eluding. On his new Duelis, I'll set a bond of $2,500. And on the battery, I'll set a bond of $500. No contact with the victim, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And on the failure to appear on the resisting, the resisting I'll set at $100, and then the failure to appear stays at no bond. All right, you're Christopher Davis?
Sir.
Okay. 22 CF 224AO, battery on a person 65 years of age or older. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Ma'am, your name?
My name is Jacqueline Jones.
Ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think I should consider in determining conditions of his release?
Yes, I think you ought to drop the charges. I didn't make any charges. I didn't even call the police. He's my son. He's a full-fledged journeyman carpenter. The boy just, he's ADD, he has ADHD, and he's emotional instability. And when he gets upset, sometimes he'll just kind of go off on the deep end. I'm okay. Yes, he did hit me, but I think it was out of rage, that's all. If he was taking medication at one time, and I think he just needs to have some type of intervention like that. And he has a bad heart. I mean, he should not be in jail, sure.
All right, do you guys live together?
He was living with me.
Is he living with you now?
No, sir. My husband had asked him to move because him being 41, my husband asked him to move, but I would work on getting a place for him.
Are you in fear for your safety?
Never.
Do you want to have any sort of contact with him?
Sure, that's my son. He doesn't deserve this. He just made a mistake.
State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Spence, do you have any questions for her?
No questions, Your Honor.
Any input from the state with regards to release?
Your Honor, state would just have you take into account he does have a fairly lengthy criminal history, including several other bad DVs. I believe, however, the latest one was 2011. So state would just ask for a reasonable bond and leave it within your discretion whether or not to set a no hostile or no contact.
All right. Any input from the defense?
Based on witness testimony, Your Honor, I would just have you have no hostile contact with reasonable bond conditions.
All right, set his bond at $2,000.
Oh, geez.
No hostile contact with the alleged victim. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. Maintain separate residence, and do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Ma'am, if you're interested in I don't make any charging decisions, and at this point, he has not been charged with a crime. The purpose of today's hearing is just to determine that there was a valid reason for his arrest and conditions of his release. So you can contact the state attorney's office about whether or not you want them to pursue charges or not, okay?
Yes, but is there any way you can lower his bond?
Ma'am, I've looked at the facts. That the issue is, he has 21 priors. He's been to prison 4 times. He's got convictions involving death to a human or unborn child, leaving the scene of an accident with death.
An unborn
And he's got violent history, multiple battery arrests, resisting, battery on a law enforcement officer, firefighter, things of that nature. So I have to take those things into consideration, as well as other things, including what you told me today. And I set his bond at what I thought was reasonable, all things considered, okay?
So he won't get out until the bond is paid?
Correct.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Now we have Thompson with,
All right, and then we gotta get the headphones back on.
yes, sir.
All right, and counsel, your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Kelly on behalf of Kamar Thompson, and thank you for allowing the recall, Mr. Thompson. I'd been told he was on the 1 o'clock, and then some confusion, and I found out.
No,
the rest
no,
down here.
we rolled him to
Yes, sir.
wait for you, don't worry.
So thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
But in Mr. Thompson's case, Your Honor, we'd submit to the court. I just did review the charging affidavit. Some significant factors left out of that, and maybe the court can consider that on whether or not to grant a bond on Mr. Thompson's case. Mr. Thompson, in fact, had a key to the residence and had just left the residence earlier that day, and there was a plan for him and the baby's mother to attend the festivities. And when he returned, I submit that he used the key, got in place, and he was attacked by the other boyfriend. Him and the other boyfriend, they knew about each other, and Mr. Thompson didn't understand why. Mr. Thompson is the one that got stabbed, went to the hospital. He's got defensive wounds. Raise your left hand, sir. He's got defensive wounds and also a stab right in the chest. And there's an allegation of a gun, but no gun recovered. Mr. Thompson doesn't own a gun, never had a gun. He's got 2 jobs, lives at home with his father, his uncle and his brother. And we submit that this court has several things, such as you could order him to remain at home, you could order GPS. There's several things that this court could do to ensure the safety of the community and the victim. And he's got no priors whatsoever, Your Honor, and he would, given the fact that that arrest report is almost fictitious, we submit that this court could consider a bond for Mr. Thompson.
All right. Any input from the defense or state?
Yes, Your Honor. Given that count 1 and count 2 are both punishable by life, states asking that you hold no bond pending an Arthur hearing. In regards to defense's arguments that this is fictitious, there are several witness accounts within this affidavit. One from Renata Griffin, saying
Do I
that she's...
have those?
No, they're within the affidavit, Your Honor. I don't have actual witness statements. I just have what the officer wrote from the witness statements.
Okay.
One from Renata Griffin, who is the mother of Amanda Griffin, who is, I believe, the ex-girlfriend of the defendant, who observed heavyset male come out of the apartment and with a 3-year-old child. We have the victim's testimony, who also sustained a small puncture wound to the abdomen area, as well as Amanda Griffin's testimony that she was in the apartment with Willie, who is the alleged victim in this case, and her 3-month-old child. While in the apartment, she was changing the baby. She heard a loud thud coming from the apartment door. She went to check, and she ran into the room to call the cops due to the defendant trying to break in the door. She stated that he broke in the door and attacked the victim, Willie. The fight continued into the kitchen, where the defendant grabbed a knife from the kitchen counter and stabbed the victim. The defendant pulled out the knife and ran outside the apartment, where he was later found in the front of the house. There are other testimony from Renata, stating that the girlfriend called her, saying that her baby's father, the defendant, was in the apartment trying to kill her and her baby. I believe it's quite telling that there's several different incidences within this affidavit, all of which that the defendant broke into the house and everyone was hiding and trying to get away. From testimony of Renata Griffin, who's Amanda's mother, Amanda, and the victim, all stating that the defendant was there trying to kill Amanda Griffin, who is the baby's mother.
The Renata allegation, Your Honor, that's the alleged mother of the child's mother. We submit to the court that Renata was not there, and that was just a bare allegation with nothing to support. There was never a claim that he'd kill. It doesn't even make sense. Why would he go there and then claim he was going to kill the baby's mother? So many things are not factual. For instance, 3-year-old child. The child is 3 months old. They just had a baby together. Mr. Thompson is at that house 3 days on average out of the week. He has a key. He helped her move into place, and he has a key. He goes and comes. If he has a key and he can get in and out of there, then it's not a burglary. This is him going into a house where he has permission. There's nothing to say that she revoked permission for him to come in and out of there. If there's no revocation of permission to come in and out, there is no burglary. It's OPD being creative. They love that armed burglary. They'll throw that anytime they can get it. Unfortunately, in this case, there is no armed burglary because he's got permission to go and come. In fact, the problem is that he was supposed to spend 4th of July with Amanda.
New Year's.
I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely right. I'm getting the fireworks mixed up.
Yep.
New Year's with Amanda, and he goes back, and evidently the other man is still there. He walks into the door. He's attacked by the other man, stabbed, and any knife that was found outside is the knife that Kamar would have pulled out of his chest. These are defensive wounds. When he was being stabbed, he tried to block the knife with his hand. It doesn't make sense that he grab a knife out of the kitchen and then rip his own hand up with the knife. There's nothing to show that the wounds or that the alleged Willie, I can't remember his last name, suffered any stabbing or that he was severely injured. The injuries just do not make sense.
So the affidavit says that he broke down the door. If he had a key to the place, why did he break down the door?
That I'm not sure. That does not make sense to me. the breaking down the door issue. I don't know if that's a red herring or
All right.
what, but I know he does have a key.
So
Yeah.
I reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. I do find that there is proof evident presumption great with regards to the charges based on the affidavit. Now, there may be more to this story. There probably always is more to this story. But at this point in time, I am gonna stay the bonds, on count one, at no bond. I can set bonds on 2 and 3, but I assume you're probably gonna have an Arthur hearing, and I don't know if you wanna go in there with no bonds or with bonds set on 2 and 3 and a no bond on 1. 'Cause I don't know what that judge is gonna do. So
Yes, sir.
I don't mind setting bonds on 2 and 3, or I can leave it the way it is. It's up to you.
Your Honor, we'd leave it with the discretion of the court.
All right. I'll stay, count 1 at no bond, count 2 I'll set at 50,000, and, count, 3 at $150. No contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. If you own any guns, knives, or weapons, I'll give you 48 hours from your release to hand them over to, is it Orange County Sheriff's Office or OPD? I can't remember.
It was Orange County.
Orange County Sheriff's Office for safekeeping. Your lawyer will talk to you and tell you what the next step is, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, have a good weekend.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you. That's all I have before the court, if I may be excused, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
In the back, what's your name?
Jarvis Davis Jr., sir.
All right, 2022 CF 74AO, battery, domestic battery by strangulation, tampering with a witness to hinder communication to a law enforcement officer, and robbery via arrest warrant. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Well, I have a private attorney. I guess she's not here. I could be
Who's your lawyer?
Tanya White.
Antonio White?
No, sir. Miss Tanya White.
Tanya White, oh. Does Ms. White know that you're here?
I texted her last night before I turned myself in.
And did she respond? You don't have to tell me what she said. I just trying to figure out if she knows to be here or not.
No, sir. When I got into the jail, my phone was turned off, so I'm not sure if she got any information from me.
So,
Your Honor, I'm sorry. This defendant already bonded.
oh, he's bonded.
Yes.
See you later. That solves that. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Great work. Your name?
Gibson.
Your name?
Kia Gibson.
What is it?
Kia Gibson.
All right, thank you, ma'am. 2021 CF 16070 AO, burglary of a conveyance with assault or battery. Battery, 1 prior battery domestic, and 1 kind of criminal mischief less than or equal to $2,000 via probable cause order. According to this, your bond on count 1 is set at no bond, count 2 no bond, count 3 $100 with conditions. No contact directly with the victim, co-defendant, or witnesses. Do not return to the scene of the offense. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State any input with regards to release on counts 1 or 2.
Your Honor, state would ask for no bond on count 1, as it is a PBL and the information has been filed. State would ask for a reasonable bond on 2 and 3.
Any input from the defense?
As to the PBL, count 1, unless the state files a pretrial detention motion, I would have you set a bond on count 1 as well as count 2, unless you find proof evident presumption great in the affidavit for count 1.
So I reviewed the information that supports the probable cause affidavit. I will set a bond of $25,000 on count 1. I'll stay the conditions, count 2 $100, count 3 $100. Looks like you got a hold out of Seminole County, so I think even if you do post the bonds, you're probably just gonna get transported to Seminole County. Ma'am, in the back, your name?
First name is Eaton Eve, last name Michelle.
All right, you have 2 cases. The first one is 2021 CF 162130 AO, 1 count of aggravated battery, 1 count of battery domestic violence via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond is set at $2,500 on each for a total of $5,000. No contact with the alleged victim. In your second case here, 2022 MM 152 AO, 1 count of battery domestic violence. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney to represent you?
Hire a private attorney.
Who's your lawyer?
I don't have one yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're here for initial appearance today on these 2 cases. So the purpose of this hearing is for me to review the arrest affidavit, make a determination if there's probable cause or a valid reason for your arrest, and if I do, to determine conditions of your release. Do you want to go forward today without a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, all right. State, any input on the misdemeanor charge with regards to release?
Your Honor, I do believe it is a different victim than the warrant case. The state would just ask for a reasonable bond.
And any input on the warrant case?
State would ask that you stay the bonds and with all of the no contact and separate residences.
All right, ma'am, so the state is asking for a reasonable bond, which I would consider somewhere in the range of $500 on your battery case, and to stay your bond at $5,000 on your felony case. Is there anything that you want to tell me? You understand that as a defendant, you have an absolute right to remain silent, so you can remain silent. You want to remain silent, or is there anything you want to tell me? And this is only dealing with conditions of your release. I don't necessarily want you to make any kind of admissions or anything like that.
I just want to say that it should just be one charge, not two.
Your Honor, I also believe I misspoke. It is the same victim in both cases. Ms. Dextra.
I believe that the dates are different. One has occurred on January 6th, and one occurred on December 26th. So that's why there's two different charges, because they happen at, you can't allegedly beat someone up today and then beat someone up a week later and only have one charge. They could charge you every time. Anything else?
I did not beat anybody. I was just throwing things.
Just with, okay. All right. On your warrant case, I'll stay your bond at $2,500 on count one. Count two, I'll reduce to $100. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Don't throw anything. In 22mm152AO, the battery, I'll set your bond at $500 with the same conditions, okay? All right, thank you. Your name?
My name is Louis Vial.
What happened to James Redding?
He's Melville, Your Honor.
All right, 22CF218AO, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right. On the misdemeanor is 500. Any input from the state on Redding?
He has little to no criminal history and no prior bat DVs, it looks like, so state would just ask for a reasonable bond.
Anything from the defense?
Just reasonable conditions, Your
All
Honor.
right, I'll set his bond at $2,500. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Medical. All right, Louis Vial?
Louis Vial.
Vial? All right, 22CF225AO, aggravated stalking after an injunction. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. This is an add-on. It looks like they said you made some jail calls from the jail in violation of the order. Any input from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, there's a lot going on with this case regarding Mr. Vial's history. He does have at least 4 prior violation of domestic injunction convictions, prior battery convictions. He is currently in jail on a violation, 2 violations of a domestic injunction, a bat DV, fleeing, and then he's going to hear on this aggravated stalking. He was seen on the violation of domestic injunction, the 8368 case in November with Judge Bain. There's a no contact in that place at that time. There's also a domestic injunction where there's also a no contact. And I believe the bond on the violation of the domestic injunction, Judge Bain set at $1 million and revoked his other out on bonds. It seems to be like an ongoing issue between this victim and this defendant. So state would just ask for a high bond, taking all that into account, given the victim's done everything she can to.
Judge Bain set $1 million bond on a violation of an injunction.
Yes, on 21mm8368. That was in November.
Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, he, as to the current charge, he is entitled to a reasonable bond. If to be held here, no bond, there would have to be a pretrial detention motion from the state, which I don't believe they filed. So I would just have you set reasonable bond conditions.
All right, I'll set your bond at $10,000. It's almost set at no bond with the $1 million bond on the other case. No contact, abide by any injunctions, maintain separate residence. You understand?
Sir, I didn't get that, sir.
No contact with the alleged victim.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I understand. It's just that I was in,
Hold on.
right now I'm taking medicine and
Hold on.
I function better, my brain functions better. And I understand all this now that I've been here
You might want to say, write it on your hand, and then that way every morning you can look at your hand and just rewrite it on your hand so that you don't forget that you can't call this person. I think the $1 million should have hopefully ingrained that, but it's whatever you need to do, whatever you think will work so that your brain is working right on this.
Yes, sir, right now I'm working fine.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ma'am, on the back, your name? Your name, ma'am?
Denise Jenkins.
All right, 22 MM 146 AO, battery domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Your name?
Rafael Vanzi.
All right, sir, is there anything that you want to tell me? Anything you think I should consider?
I mean, man, she's a good person. You know, she just get wild a little bit when her emotion kicks in. You know, but I'd like her to go home to her little son. You know.
You guys live together?
Yeah, for a good year now.
Year and a half?
Good year, about a year.
Okay, year. And do you want her to come home?
Yeah, she got her son home.
Are you in fear for your safety?
Nah, I can take care of myself.
All right. Stay, do you have any questions for him?
Sir, would you like to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Wait, say that again?
Would you like to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yeah, it's okay.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions from the defense?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, any input from the state?
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond, taking into account her little to no criminal history as well as the victim's testimony here today.
All right, any input from the defense?
Reasonable conditions, Your Honor.
So ma'am, would you rather post a $250 bond or be released through pretrial release program?
Post bond.
Okay, set your bond at $250. No hostile contact with the alleged victim. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you violate any of that, you could be like Mr. Vial and be here on $1 million bond. You don't want that. See you later. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am, your name
Today,
and your last name?
Rodriguez.
All right, 22 MM 148 AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I represent myself.
Okay. All right, and your name, sir?
Leon Gray.
All right. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Sir, is there anything that you want to tell me?
Yes, I would like to tell the court that this case, I think it's a little over-exaggerated. I am currently the victim, but there was actually nothing that really happened. A few things I would like to point out. Shadai Rodriguez, we have 4 kids together, and I think it would be a really bad idea for her to be incarcerated because it caused a lot more mental damage to the children. We do stay together. So I'm just hoping that you guys can release her. I think that whoever made the call was, they just kind of responded in haste and didn't really give accurate information to what actually happened. I don't see in any way, shape, or form her actually being capable to be able to do what was said or whatever the call was spoken about for the case.
So she's gonna get a bond today. She'll get a bond to get released.
Okay.
Do you guys live together?
That's correct.
Bless you. You all right? You need a moment? She's not allergic to you, is she?
No.
Okay. It's a record. What's your name?
That's my first name.
Shaw? You better?
Yeah, I just feel dizzy.
Do you need a moment? Do you need to sit?
Yeah, I feel dizzy, like really bad.
All right, yeah, let's get her to sit down. All right, have a seat for me, sir. We'll bring it back when she's feeling better.
Okay.
We might roll her to tomorrow. Oh, you want to have her sit in here and finish it up, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I just haven't eaten anything. I feel.
All right, have a seat. Bring him back. Sorry. Are you in fear for your safety, sir?
No, not at all.
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes, sir.
All right, State, do you have any questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for him?
No questions, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
Your Honor, state was just asked that you set a reasonable bond.
Any input from the defense?
Reasonable conditions, Your Honor, please.
All right, set your bond at $250, no hostile contact. With the, no hostile contact, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You understand, ma'am? All right. Whenever you're ready, feel free to get up and walk out of here. If you need a moment, take a moment. It's up to you. Maybe we'll get her a chair or something. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
A wheelchair. All right. Palak Shaw?
Yes.
All right. 2022 MM151AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Reviewed the affidavit. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Gosh, I've never done this.
So the purpose of today's hearing is twofold. One, for me to review this affidavit and make a determination if there's probable cause or a valid reason for your arrest. And if I do, then to determine conditions of your release. So the only two things we're gonna do today, nothing more, nothing less. Well, we could do something less if we don't go forward, but that's it. So, you wanna do it by yourself today? Do you wanna see if you qualify for a public defender to help you do it today? Or do you want me to continue this 24 hours for you to hire a lawyer to help you with this hearing? Do you have any questions?
I'll represent myself.
All right. I review the affidavit, found probable cause. Ma'am, your name?
Rajesh,
Or sir, I'm sorry, sir, and is there anything that you wanna tell me?
I want to see come home, and that's it.
Do you live together?
Yes, sir.
She's your daughter?
She's my daughter.
Okay. Anything like this ever happened before?
Yeah, it's not much, but it was bad moments on that time, and then happened. But she's a good girl, so I would like she come home.
Do you wanna have contact with her?
What does mean?
Do you wanna have contact with her? You wanna be able to talk to her, see her?
I don't understand.
Do you want her to come home?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, State, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Defense, or I'm sorry, I mean, you can if you want, but you can just hang out there.
I do not have any questions.
Any input? State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me in determining conditions of your release? Understand that you're a defendant. As a defendant, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So you can remain silent, or if there's anything you want me to consider in determining conditions of your release.
Well, I had some questions because I saw this no contact order. And I currently live with my dad, so can I still go home?
So the answer to that is he says he doesn't have any problem with you coming home, so I'm not going to enter a no contact order.
Okay,
So you'll have an ability to have contact with him, you have an ability to go home.
okay,
Any other questions?
no.
All right, anything else?
No.
All right, would you rather post a $250 bond to get out, or would you rather be released without having to post a bond but be monitored through the pretrial release program?
Be monitored through what?
The pretrial release program. So I can let you out without posting a bond, so doesn't cost you money to get out, but you'd be monitored similar to probation. They'd make sure that you're following the rules, that you're not violating any of the rules of your release. Or you can post a $250 bond and we can trust you to follow the rules.
I'll do the 250.
All right, I'll set your bond at $250, no hostile contact with the alleged victim. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay? All right, thank you. Thank you for being here. Your name, ma'am? In the back? Your name?
Rebecca Stepp.
All right, 2022 MM153AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Did you want to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or see if you qualify for the services of the public defender?
Public defender.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
How much money do you make?
Last year I brought home about 33,000.
Okay, all right, hold on. So you make about $800 every 2 weeks, that's what your affidavit says? Any children, any dependents?
No, sir.
Qualify? 400 a week? Yeah, okay. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Any input from the state?
Your Honor, she has little to no criminal history, and we don't have a victim to testify, so no, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Reasonable conditions, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set your bond at $250. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Tony Sykes, sir.
All right, 2022 MM1390, you're here on a violation of pretrial release conditions on a domestic violence case. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, and I'll stay your bond at no bond.
I was gonna say, I believe you can set a bond in this case.
I can, except for I looked down and he's got convictions for violation of pretrial release conditions on domestic violence.
I'll
So,
get beat up again when I go in here, sir. I got broken fingers. I got bruises on my back if I can show you. Sir, I'm gonna get beat up again. I'm gonna have my clothes taken off. I got stents in my body that goes down my leg because I have very, very poor circulation.
sir,
I have a heart condition.
in all honesty,
Yes, sir.
all right, you're here for domestic violence, which means the
And my
allegation.
wife don't never have a bruise on her. She don't never have a bruise on her. I'm the one getting bruised up.
All right, I was gonna try and talk to you, but that's all right. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Your name? Your name?
Nelson Sylvester.
All right, sir, 2022 MM149AO, you're here on one count of battery, domestic violence, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point to public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Reasonable conditions, Your Honor.
Set your bond at $500, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay? Thank you. Your name, sir?
Russell Creek, sir.
All right, 2022 MM13AW, one count of battery, dating, violence. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor, state we just asked for no return due to him also being trespassed from that residence.
Any input from the defense?
We have a moment to confer, Your Honor.
Sure.
Just reasonable conditions, Your Honor.
Says bond of $500, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Your name, ma'am? And your last name?
Fine.
All right, 20 MM2173 out of county warrant on a failure to appear on a petty theft of $100 or more. According to this warrant, it's out of Osceola County. Your bond is set at $1,000. Osceola County has 72 hours to come pick you up. Not counting the weekends, I'll appoint the public defender in case they don't pick you up, all right?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part? I'm sorry.
I've appointed this gentleman, and if they don't pick you up in 72 hours, then he'll let me know so we can figure out what to do with you, okay?
All right.
That way we don't forget about you.
All right.
He's there so that I don't forget. Your name, sir?
John Cobras, Your Honor.
All right. Case number 222-93664, violation of probation on a grand theft greater than 300, less than 5,000, grand theft greater than 5,000, less than 10,000, grand theft greater than 300, less than 5,000, grand theft greater than 300, less than 5,000, grand theft greater than 300, less than 5,000. This warrant is out of Hillsborough County. According to this, your bond is set at no bond on all charges. Hillsborough County, I don't know, actually, I think Hillsborough's got 72 hours to come get him, right? I'm gonna appoint the public defender. If they don't come get you, we'll figure out what to do with you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
They don't come in.
Your name?
Rebecca Agosto.
All right, ma'am, you were here in 2018 CF 18188 AO, violation of probation on one count of fraudulent use of personal identification, 2 counts grand theft of a motor vehicle. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I have a private attorney.
Who's your lawyer?
Lisette Martinez.
Okay, and does Lizette Martinez know that you're here?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want me to roll this case to tomorrow so that you can get your lawyer to appear at this hearing, or do you want to go forward today without your lawyer?
I can wait till tomorrow.
Okay, all right, I'll roll it to tomorrow morning. Who's here over the weekend? All right, see you tomorrow. Your name, sir? Your name?
Sir, my name is Mohammed Asarchi.
All right, 2014 CF 16725 BO or EO, it looks like. I think it's EO. Violation of probation, trafficking of 28 grams or more of cocaine. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, sir, your name?
Arnez Barrington.
All right, sir, 2020 CF 6430 AO, you're here on a violation of probation on felony delivery with a gun, possession of a controlled substance. According to this warrant, your bond set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. In the back, your name, sir? Your first name?
Jeremy.
2020 CF 3663 AO, violation of probation on one kind of trespass of an occupied structure. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your name, sir?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, sir, 2021 CF 340 AO, one kind of violation of probation on a possession of a controlled substance. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. You're also here in 2020 CF 13306 AO, violation of probation on one count of possession of Utilone. I'm not sure what that is. According to that warrant, your bond is set at $1,500, all right? So you got 2 cases. One, you have a bond of $1,500. One, you have no bond. I'll appoint the public defender on both of your cases for you, okay? All right. Your name, sir?
Good morning, James Leroy.
All right. Mr. Leroy, good morning. 2017 CF 14482 AO, violation of probation. According to this, it's a violation of probation on one kind of burglary of a dwelling occupied or conveyance out of Orange County. Your bond on that is set at no bond. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you, okay?
Is there a chance I can get a bond?
Absolutely. Just not right now. Yeah, so they'll get you in front of the judges assigned to the case. I'm not the judge assigned to the case, and they'll have a meaningful hearing, and hopefully we can get you out, okay? All right. Not yet. No, sir. All right, thank you. Ma'am, your name? All right, 2014 CF 16685 BO, one kind of grand theft greater than 20,000 but less than 100,000, and insurance claims greater than or less than 20,000. It's a violation of probation affidavit. According to this, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you on that case. And then are you Pierre Scobie? Yes, sir. All right, sir. 2020 CF 2819 AO, violation of probation on possession of a controlled substance. According to this warrant, your bond set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender on that case for you as well. So the only person we have left is Campos. Sir. Do we want to do our second session this morning? We can roll Campos to the end.
State's good to go, Your Honor.
All right. How
Ready
much
to go,
time do
Your
you
Honor.
need?
I'm ready to go, Your Honor.
All right.
It's mental health.
Oh, it's mental health?
Yeah. Roll her to tomorrow and see what happens. Your name? What is it?
Actually.
What's the last name?
Lee.
Lee. What kind of case do you think you have here today, Mr. Lee? City ordinance, there it is. All right, you're out on, R award on, 2022, I don't know, IN 14AO and 22 MO 30 AO disorderly conduct. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, stay the bond. Do we have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, I've been authorized on the city's behalf to offer a withhold credit time served on his instant case. However, I don't have an offer on his prior.
All right, what's you want to do?
I have a moment to confer, Your Honor.
Yep.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
Your Honor,
You are the only participant.
we do have some notes on Mr. Lee that suggest that maybe entering a plea isn't in his best interest at this point. Would you consider ROR on the current charge and no action on the out on bond?
What's the basis for the ROR?
It's a nonviolent offense, and he was released in ROR on the last charge. I know it's probably the same circumstances as to the current case, but I don't believe he would have any money to bond out, so he would be stuck here.
He's got 51 priors and 6 failure to appears and a DOC and got failure to appears last year.
Understand, Your Honor.
Conviction, grand theft of a motor vehicle just 3 months ago.
Your Honor, state's also concern is the out on bond happened on 1/1, so it's approximately 6 days later.
We would just request.
Stay his bond and take no action on the case that he's out on bond.
That was a 250 bond, Your Honor?
I think it was.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna help you out. You should have called us, okay? We'll try, okay?
All right, your name, sir?
Alvin Smith.
What happened to Jacob Barnes? We're still doing our move-ups, huh? Smith? What kind of case do you think you have, Mr. Smith?
FTA.
Failure to appear?
Felony case, Your Honor.
Alvin? All right, you're here in 2020 CF 925AO, failure to appear on a battery with 1 prior. According to this case, you failed to appear for pretrial conference on December 19th of last year. Your bond set at no bond. Do you have a lawyer on this case? Public defender?
Yes, sir, I have.
Yeah, PD's already been appointed to represent you, okay?
We gotta get you in front of the judge, okay? So you should give us. We'll give that, okay?
Grace? And what kind of case? All right. There he is. Your name, sir?
What is the charge?
What's your name?
Matthew Grace.
All right, 2019 CF 145646. It's a failure to appear on a grand theft 3rd degree. That's what you're here for. It says that you failed to appear for case management conference on June 10th of 2020. So a year and a half ago, okay?
I went to court last week in January in Orlando.
Okay. For this case or another one?
That case, that's my only case.
Yeah, what happened?
I got a court date.
We'll look it up real quick for you. Can we pull that up and see if you had court last week? Do you remember who the judge is?
Excuse me?
Do you remember the judge? The name?
No, I do not.
Male or female?
Female.
Old or young?
Young.
What color hair?
Brown.
Brown, young, female.
It's Judge Barber, Your Honor.
Oh, she'll like that. She'll appreciate that.
I do not see any additional hearings.
Who's the judge on this case? Barber. So, hearing I don't have anything in our system that says that you went and saw Judge Barber last week. Does he have any other open cases?
I was there. I saw her.
He has no other open Orange County, Your Honor.
Do you remember what floor?
I do not.
Was it high up or low up in the building?
I think it was like the third floor. maybe.
Third? All right, I don't have anything that shows that you appeared. I've looked through the file. I do have a warrant signed, or a failure to appear signed by the judge. So your bond is set at, what is it set at, no bond?
He set it for $5,000 in no bond, but that's why I'm doing, community service or whatever you wanna call it. Probation service.
Set at no bond, but here's the deal. If we get paperwork that says that she set it at 5,000, we'll change it to 5,000 for you. But right now, the only thing that I have to go on that's in the computer, that the state attorney has, that the clerk has, and that I have is the no bond.
That's crazy because I was there.
Yeah, do you have any paperwork?
Not with me.
Yeah, okay. Well, who would have it?
When I started doing community service,
Who would have the paperwork?
well, let me finish.
Okay.
We went down, we were gonna do it behind the jailhouse in Cocoa. Went down by the water. This guy had a boat, we got in it. And I had all my stuff in a bag. We got out the boat, and my bag's still on that boat.
So your paperwork's in a bag on a boat? Okay, all right. Good luck.
Your Honor, Barnes Jacob is
Yep.
behavioral.
All right, 22 MM 14AW, temporarily appoint the PD waiver role.
Waive the appearance, Your
All
Honor.
right, review the affidavit, found probable cause, stay as bond. No return to the scene.
Champion Jarrett is medical.
All right, 22 MM 6AE, larceny, petty theft, temporarily appoint waiver role.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, champion. Oof. Set as bond at 1,000. Counsel, did you get something from Ms. Rossman?
Yes, Your Honor, I
you send it-
did.
Did you send it to the state?
I don't know if she sent me a message. I can read it verbatim to you. It reads, "Hi, Jerry. If he wants to admit to the curfew violation today and be reinstated, all original conditions, I'm fine with that. He admitted to the PO he violated curfew by going to McDonald's. I would advise my client to accept it. I don't know if there's a way to talk to him privately or whether I could just talk to him on the screen when the court is ready."
Let me see.
Your Honor, ASA Rossman did send me that email. However, I'm not sure if this court has jurisdiction to accept a felony VOP plea.
Me? Yeah, I'm cross-sworn. I can do it. Do it all the time. Not all the time, but I do it.
Thank you.
I think what we're gonna have to do though is put them on for tomorrow morning. I don't know if can we get them back or is it, what was your client's name?
Daniel Standing Bear.
It was one of
Because
the,
any way we could do it at 1 o'clock?
no, we're gonna see what we can do. Can we get them back or do we gotta do it tomorrow? All right, hang tight. We'll get them back.
Okay?
All right. Your name, sir?
It's Richard Lapointe.
All right, Mr. Lapointe, 2022 MM 138AO, trespass in an occupied structure. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Appoint the public defender. I'll stay your bond. Do we have an offer?
There was, Your Honor, state conveyed an offer of an adjudication, credit time served, no return.
You want it?
Yeah.
All right.
May I
Can you
approach,
sign
Your Honor?
that? Yeah, sure. Is this your signature on this form? Right here?
Yeah.
Right here? Yeah, you read it? Did you read it, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Any questions?
No.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days, no return to 4720 South Kirkman. That's a Walgreens. Can't go back to that Walgreens. And I'll give you a year to pay your costs, okay? 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
All right.
Which one? The last name started with an S. Oh, wait. What's the VOP, please? Last name again?
Standing Bear, it's
Standing
18 CF 6863.
18 CF 6863. All right, your name, sir?
Enrique LeBaron.
All right, sir, you're here today in 2022 MM143AO. It's a petty theft. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, and I'll stay your bond. State, do we have an offer?
This is Mr.
LeBaron Stubbs.
No, Your Honor, there's no offer at this time, due to being enhanceable.
All right. Yeah, it also looks like, just so you know, you've got warrants out of Texas. Maybe another one out of Texas. Idaho Falls. Oh. Another one out of Minneapolis. So feel free to turn yourself in on any of those warrants, okay?
Okay.
All right.
That was a 250 bond, Your Honor?
500.
500. Thank you.
Your Honor, Mavronis Harry is behavior.
All right. 2022 MM137AO, temporarily appoint, waiver roll.
We'll roll as there is an offer, Your Honor.
All right. Your name, sir?
Roland Noel.
2022 MM12AW, one kind of resisting officer without violence, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bond. Do we have an offer in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer was an adjudication for time served.
Do you want to take that offer? All right. You got it. You want to give him
Yes,
in the back, what's your name, sir?
Jorge Luis Ortiz Torres.
All right.
You wanted a bond.
Is there an offer for Mr. Torres?
Yes, Your Honor, adjudication for time served.
All right. Your offer's in adjudication credit time served, all right? Think about it. We'll call you up in a second.
And a no return.
Was it Wawa, I think? Yeah.
For Mr. Ortiz, yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Noel.
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Read it.
Roland Noel.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I read the paper.
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, you ever read it before?
No, sir.
Yeah. No? Your lawyer go over with you?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Did you have any questions for him?
No, sir.
All right.
We did speak.
You have 5 prior convictions. You never read this form before with any of those convictions? And you got no juveniles? No? All right. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days. Your costs, I'll give you a year to pay, okay? 30 days to appeal. Good luck. All right, Mr. Ortiz Torres, you're here in 2022 MM147AO, trespass and structure. Your bond on that, review the affidavit, found probable cause. Your bond set at 500. The offer's adjudication, credit time served, no return to that Wawa. You want to take that deal?
Yes, sir.
All right. Get him to sign that plea form.
He's got a pen. I approach, Your Honor.
Yeah, please. Is this your signature on this form? Mr. Ortiz?
Yes?
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you read it?
Yes.
Understand it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day with credit for 1 day.
He has 2 days, Your Honor.
Oh, 2? I thought it said he got arrested on the 7th.
He was arrested yesterday.
Oh, you're right. Date booked was just after midnight. Was it from when he's booked or when he's arrested?
When he's arrested.
All right, sentence you to 2 with credit for 2. No return to the Wawa, 3025 Curry Ford Road, okay?
Yes, sir.
And a year to pay your costs, 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Tracy Brett Patrick is medical.
All right, 22MM14AA, temporarily appoint, waiver roll.
Waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, review the affidavit, found probable cause. This is Tracy Patrick. I'll set his bond at $500. No return. Your name, sir?
Jeffrey Dempsey, sir.
All right, Mr. Dempsey. You're here in 21 MO 29 or 20, I guess 22. I don't know. 22 MO 29AO disorderly conduct. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Appoint the public defender, and
Your Honor, there is an offer on behalf of the city of a withhold credit time served.
all right. That's on all of these, right?
All of them except Mr. Martinez Harris.
Okay.
We have a chance to speak with Mr. Dempsey, and I believe he wishes to resolve today, Your Honor.
Okay.
May I approach?
What's the offer for Martinez? He's the next gentleman.
There isn't one, Your
Oh, no
Honor.
offer, okay.
Your Honor, I have Standing Bear next.
Oh, okay. All right, is this your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
You read it?
Yes, sir.
Understand it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest, sir.
Accept your no contest plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. Your costs are reduced down to a judgment for you, 30 days to appeal. Good luck. All right, Martinez Harris is not here?
He's here, but I have Standing Bear here with their counsel.
Oh, okay. Your name, sir?
Standing Bear?
All right. So we need to get, do we have a VOP plea form here or no? Well, no, I mean, well. So, your attorney's back on the phone. He's worked out a deal. He's actually on this, oh yeah, you can see him up there. Yeah, so he's worked out a deal with the state attorney. The agreement is that, they would, dismiss the violation, revoke and terminate, place him on a new term of probation with all the same conditions. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, it would be an admission to the curfew violation
Oh.
and a reinstate with all original conditions.
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah, reinstate was the language used. Madam State Attorney, do you have the email from Attorney Rossman?
Yes.
So he's worked out that deal. His advice is that you accept it. Now, you have a couple options today. You can either accept it today, or if you want to have a conversation with him, I can roll this to tomorrow or Monday. That way you guys can meet and talk about it, because you don't really have an ability to have a private conversation right now about it, being that he's online and you're here. So did you want to go forward today with it, or do you want me to set it for Monday and then gives you guys the weekend to talk about it?
I accept.
Okay.
Could you, Mr. Standing Bear, could you repeat? I didn't hear what you said.
I accept.
He said I accept.
Okay, that's fine. And that's my recommendation.
All right. So we're giving him a plea form right now. He's going to sign it.
Okay?
And so take a moment and read this form and then sign it, all right? And then when you get out of jail, you can, give your lawyer a tip or a bonus for working so fast to get you out. All right, so it's a violation of technical condition, failure to report is out, or is out after curfew?
Curfew, Your Honor.
And what condition number is that?
That is, one second.
On this?
Condition 15.
I'll explain it to you. What is it, condition 15?
That is correct.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what's the case number? It was 18 CF
6863.
6863. All right, Mr. Standing Bear, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. And your name and date of birth?
It's 6/23/1986, Daniel Standing Bear.
All right. And I have a plea form. Is this your signature on this form?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Did you read it?
Yes.
Understand it?
Yes.
I gave you an opportunity to continue this hearing until Monday so you could have a meaningful conversation with your lawyer. It's my understanding that you want to go forward today anyways. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And your lawyer has told you that he's advised that you take this deal. You understand that by resolving this case today, we're not going to have any kind of violation or probation hearing?
Correct.
All right. Do you know if you're not a U.S. citizen that you could be deported for this?
Yes.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And if you were given a withhold on the underlying offense by entering this plea today, it's going to change that to an adjudication. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. With regards to condition 15, failure to obey the curfew as imposed on as a condition of your probation, condition 15, do you admit or deny to violating condition 15 by going to McDonald's after hours?
I did.
All right. I'll accept your admission. I'll adjudicate you guilty on the underlying. I'm going to place you, or I'm going to revoke and terminate your probation, place you on a new term of probation. How many days does he have left of probation?
Your Honor, I think the email says reinstate the probation.
Okay. I'll reinstate your probation with all additional terms and conditions of your probation. I'll give you 72 hours from your release to report to probation, okay? So if you're going to get released today, I'll give you till Monday at 4 o'clock to report to probation, okay?
Your Honor.
All right. 30 days to appeal. Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor, thank you very
All right,
much for
thank
your
you.
time. and
Have a good
consideration.
weekend. See you later.
You're not revoking.
We're not revoking and terminating. We're just
Admit,
adjudicating on the
reinstate.
underlying and reinstating probation.
With original conditions.
With
Yep, all original conditions. Yep.
And 72 hours to report to probation?
Yep. Got it.
And what about the, any normal,
What else?
only on one count?
You good? Okay. All right, your name, sir?
Martinez Harris.
All right, sir, 22 MO 31 AO, you're here on a violation of state misdemeanors. Were you interested in the services of the public defender?
are
Did you want
the
to represent
only
yourself or hire a
participant.
private attorney?
Myself, sir.
I'm sorry?
Myself, sir.
Okay. State, do you have an offer?
Not at this time.
All right, I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, and I'll set your bond at $250, okay?
Is that without 10%?
So usually, and I'm not a bail bondsman, but usually on something that low, they would want $100. They're not gonna do it for 25 bucks. They probably just don't make enough money.
No, yeah, I was trying to understand if 250.
Yeah, you could pay, the 250 is the full amount.
Okay, yes, that's what I was trying to understand. Thank
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
you. Okay.
Your name, sir?
Richard Nowacki?
All right, 21 MO 32 AO, disorderly conduct. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, 250. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, I've been authorized on the city's behalf to offer withhold credit time served.
I did have a chance to speak with Mr. Nowicki, and he does wish to resolve today.
All right. Was that the last guy? No.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yep. All right, sir, is this your signature on this form?
Yes.
Did you read it?
Yes.
Understand it?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Guilty or no contest?
No No contest.
Accept your no contest plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. Your costs are reduced down to a judgment, 30 days to appeal. Good luck. You brought in the big guns for the VOP, huh? So listen, I was talking to Kim yesterday at Home Depot.
You get to the shelter.
She says if you want to come back, they'll take you. You know Kim?
She was in the process of
Your name, sir?
Timothy Taylor.
All right, 22 MO 33 AO disorderly conduct. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Represent myself.
All right, your bond set at $250. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, I've been authorized on the city's behalf to offer a withhold credit time served.
You want the withhold credit time served?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you? Well, you helped them out anyways. So do you know Kim?
Yes, sir.
Kim. Home Depot. No, she knew you. Yeah. Yeah. She's the man. All right. Oh, hey, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you read it?
Yes, sir.
Understand it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported for this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And if you've ever been convicted of a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, by entering this plea today, it could subject you to involuntary civil confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. Your costs are reduced down to a judgment for you, 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
All sir.
What happened to Charvon Bailey?
Surety bond.
All right, bonded. Samal Balram? All right. All right, so you're here in 22 CF 226 AO, aggravated assault with a firearm and one kind of threat to a law enforcement officer, public official, or family member. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. Any input from the state with regards to release?
Your Honor, state we just ask that you take into account his previous arrest. He does have a prior VOP as well as batteries and other ag assaults with weapons.
All right. Defense?
It's reasonable conditions, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set your bond at $3,500 on count one, $150 on count two. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay? You understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Your name?
Brian Bethel.
All right, sir, 2022 CF 209AO, driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I just wanted to get it over with.
Well, before we go forward, I got to know where you stand with a lawyer. Because I don't want to go forward with you if you want a lawyer unless we talk about a
I
lawyer.
don't really have the money for it, sir.
All right. Well, you know, you could, if you qualify for the public defender is $50.
$50. When do I have to pay that?
I don't think you got to pay it up front. Yeah, pay it whenever you have an ability to pay it. What do you want to do?
I'll go for a public defender.
All right. Do you have a job?
Like part-time.
How much money do you make?
Probably about $300 a week.
All right. Any other sources of income?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, review the affidavit, found probable cause, and I'll set your bond at $750. Your name, sir?
David Billman, sir.
2022 CF 221AO, one kind of grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. Reviewed the affidavit. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I'm gonna have to hire a private attorney.
All right. So the purpose of today's hearing is to determine if there's probable cause for your arrest and for me to set bond. Do you want to go forward today without a lawyer, or do you want me to continue this to tomorrow? I'll give you 24 hours to hire a lawyer. You can come back tomorrow with a lawyer.
I would ask for an ROR, sir. I have no access to my money. I came down here to take care of my sick mother.
So before we get to the meat of this hearing, I just need to know if we can proceed. So if you want to go forward today, you can either do it by representing yourself or with the public defender if you qualify. If you want your lawyer present, then, I can't talk to you about.
I will proceed.
All right, so you want to do it by yourself today?
Today, yes.
All right.
I have no choice.
All right, and what do you want to tell me about being ROR'd?
Well,
Why should I ROR you without posting any kind of,
I have no access to my money. This car, I bought this. I a car.
understand that as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So I'm giving you that warning.
Sir, yes,
Yep.
sir.
All right, go on.
I came down here, my mother has dementia. I came down here to take care of her, move my business here. I do have access to money, but it's cash in my apartment. I've come down here to take care of her. I don't think I've ever felt this helpless, right? I have no access to any of my funds right now. I came down here to take care of a sick family. I just want to get back to my family.
All right, state, any input?
Your Honor, state would object to ROR. He does have at least one prior failure to appear. His last conviction was an escape, and he currently does have open warrants out of Michigan, Georgia, and Ohio. So state would object and ask that you just set a bond.
Yeah. So you've got 3 felony convictions, a misdemeanor conviction, an old failure to appear. You've got a conviction a couple years ago for escape. You've got out of state, driving on a suspended license, public intoxication, disturbance of a business, possessing instruments of crime, failure to appear multiple, fleeing in a vehicle or conveyance, driving without a valid license, multiple traffic offenses, drug possession, controlled substance, driving while license suspended, multiple, possession of cocaine 2 times, possession of paraphernalia, multiple, false information, battery, no operator's license in possession, battery result in bodily harm to a family member, battery resulting in bodily injury, operating a motor vehicle with being a habitual traffic offender, failure to stop after an accident resulting in damage to vehicle, violation of probation, habitual traffic offender ×2, domestic, escape from a lawful detention, escape, use, or possession of drug paraphernalia, DUI, and as they stated, you have 3 warrants out of Michigan, Georgia, Ohio, so I'm not inclined to ROR yet. So I'll set your bond at $2,500. Thank you.
My bond just went up.
Is it set at 25? Yeah. Yep.
Your Honor, state would also ask for no contact with the victim.
Who's the victim?
His ex-girlfriend.
What was the name?
LaDonna Davis.
There it is. Yeah, LaDonna Davis. No contact with LaDonna Davis. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, your name, ma'am.
Audra Kyler.
2022 CF 189AO, possession of cocaine, trespass on property after warning, resisting officer without violence. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point to public defender, and I'll set your bond at 500 on count 1, 100 on count 2, and 100 on count 3. Thank you. Your name, sir?
Your Honor, Dion Stephens, Francis refused.
Oh, I'm on Felix Del Valle. All right, and then we'll get the next one. That's you, sir? What's your name?
Felix Del Valle.
All right, 17 CF 11897AO, for failure to appears. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, discharge of a firearm in public, open carrying of a firearm. Accordingly, he failed to appear for a competency hearing on November 30th of last year. Your bond set at no bond on all those. He previously has a PD.
Here's Gary Swartz, I think.
Oh, Gary Schwartz is conflict, I think.
RCC.
Yeah, so he's got conflict counsel. Robert, how are you?
Your attorney's gonna be contacting you. You don't have us, you have RCC. Come and visit you.
I was gonna go looking for you before I left. They said you were in maintenance now or something. And that's more exciting than this? Yeah. I only got about 20 cases, so I should be done in about 45 seconds. Your name? All right, so Stephen Dion was refused. 2022 CF 186AO, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
We'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, stay his bond at $2,500, no contact with the alleged victim. All right, Alex Gates.
Medical, Your Honor.
All right, 2022 CF 180AO, possession of meth, possession of drug paraphernalia, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
We'll waive the appearance, although he was cooperative with police in the facts of the affidavit, so I'll have you take that into consideration.
All right, count 1, I'll stay at $2,500. Count 2, I'll set at $150, and count 3, $100. Do not possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription.
He has another case as well, Your Honor.
The 2022 CF 180AO, I'll stay as, count 1 at 1,000 and count 2 at 100, finding probable cause.
So
Thank you.
on count 2 and the other one, you said at 2,500, right?
No, I wasn't, no. Let me see. I stay count, 150 and then 100.
Oh.
Dante Howell,
Medical, Your Honor.
21 CF 11821AO, violation of condition of pretrial release. According to this warrant, is bond set at 2,500 on count 1 and 500 on count 2. And here in 22 MO 34AO, open container, I'll temporarily appoint the PD on that case. I'll set his bond at 100.
We'll waive the appearance too.
All right.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Your name, sir?
Deanna Jefferson.
All right, so you're out on your ROR on possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, 14 counts of that. And then you're out on bond on a possession of firearm by a convicted felon, and then 3 counts of ammunition and carrying concealed firearm. That's 21 CF 1942AO. You're here today, in 22 CF 217AO. Possession of methamphetamine and tampering with physical evidence. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause. Point the public defender. I'll stay your bond on count 1 at 1,000. Count 2, I'll set at 150.
Your Honor.
Yep,
Maybe heard as to count 1 on tampering.
sure. I have count 2 as tampering.
Count 2, excuse me. Would you find PC for attempt? I believe they did recover the materials that were in the police car.
State has no objection, and we just
Drop it
ask that
down.
you add the statute of 777.04.
What is it?
It's the statute that's currently there, as well as 777.04.
I don't know.
All conditions, all original conditions. Thank you, man. That's right. So instead of the tampering 918, it's 777.04?
It's 918 and 777.04.
Okay.
Because the 777 is the attempt statute.
Is that what you're asking for?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it drops it down a level.
Okay. What does it drop it down to 100?
Still a felony, Your Honor.
Is it 3rd degree?
I mean, I gave him subsidiaries 150 on it, so it stays the same, right?
What is the charge gonna be, attempting, tampering?
Yes.
Is it attempted? Yeah.
It's attempted?
Yeah.
And it's the
7.
777.04?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And then what's the status of the case that he's out on bond?
Both of those have been filed on the 1942 case. We filed one charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in F2. And on the 5716 case, instead of the 15 counts, we filed 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in F2.
So they filed on
Both are
bond.
filed and both are possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
All right, I'll revoke your release on those cases. Let the judge assign to those cases determine what a reasonable bond is for you. All right, ma'am, your name?
Johnson Lorenzo, Your Honor, behavior.
All right. Johnson Lorenzo, out on bond, kidnapping, burglary, out on bond on burglary, battery, strangulation, DV, battery, petty theft. Those case numbers are 21 CF 8805, 21 CF 8198AO. Here today on a grand theft 3rd degree, and 2022 CF 219AO. Temporarily appoint the PD waiver role.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right. Stay his bond at $2,500 on that case. What's the status of the cases that he's out on bond?
In regards to the 8198, it has been filed as an ag bat string, bat 1 prior and 2 petty thefts. And in regards to 8805, we also have filed, and it's 3 F1s and 2 F3s.
All right, I'll revoke the release in those cases. Let the judge assign to those cases determine what a reasonable bond is. All right, ma'am, your name?
Antoinette Leon.
All right, 2021 CF 1553AO. You're here on a failure to appear on a possession of cocaine. According to this, you failed to appear for a status hearing on July 23rd of last year. Your bond on that is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender if they aren't already appointed. All right, sir, your name?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Marco Marquez.
All right, 22 CF 227 AO, sale and delivery of fentanyl via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond set at $5,000. What may be modified by the initial appearance. Judge, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. And I'll set your bond at $15,000 with the same, do not possess or consume any alcohol or drugs.
Your Honor, if I may ask, when you said modified,
Hold on, talk to your lawyer real quick before you say anything to me.
He would like to know what the reasons behind the increase in the bond amount on the warrant.
7 felony convictions, 12 misdemeanor convictions, 4 failure to appear, 21 unknowns, 3 times DOC, DOC for trafficking in illegal drugs ×2, trafficking in heroin ×2, possession of a controlled substance, battery ×2, petty theft ×2, battery, Leo, robbery, shoplifting, resisting officer ×3, grand theft, misdemeanor cannabis, drug paraphernalia ×2, duelist, trafficking in heroin ×2, resisting officer, possession of cocaine, duelist, ag battery ×2, battery ×2, possession of controlled substance ×2, misdemeanor cannabis ×2, ag assault, possession of cocaine ×2, drug paraphernalia ×2, resisting merchant recovery out of county ×2, warrants, criminal mischief, dealing in stolen property, battery on a law enforcement officer, possession of heroin, possession of paraphernalia, petty theft, resisting officer without violence, many, sell marijuana, violation of probation, many, aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer ×2, battery, and selling cocaine. In the back, sir, your name? Your name?
Colin McKee.
All right, 2022 CF 199AO, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, possession of alprazolam with intent to sell, possession of cannabis with intent to sell, possession of drug paraphernalia, violation of domestic violence injunction, and possession of a prescription drug. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney to represent you?
I have a private attorney, but he couldn't make it today.
Who's your lawyer?
Chung Kim Wook.
Okay. Do you want me to roll this to tomorrow morning, give him an opportunity to come, because you're sitting here on 6 counts with no bond right now. So I can roll this to tomorrow, you can give him a call, and he can show up tomorrow morning and represent you.
So I can't get a bond today?
Well, I mean, you may get a bond, I can't make any promises. And if you want to go forward with this hearing without your lawyer, you can, or I can roll it to tomorrow so that you can have legal representation. It's up to you.
He usually doesn't come to my my hearings.
He usually doesn't.
He usually doesn't come to my bond hearings. He just.
So you have a lot of these, a lot of bond hearings?
I've had a couple, yes, sir.
So I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Can I speak to him as a friend of the court, Your Honor?
Sure. In the back, what's your name, sir?
Mr. Pilgrim?
What is it? Okay. So, Mr. Pilgrim, you're here in 2021 CF 16293AO, conspiracy to commit robbery with a firearm and a petty theft via arrest warrant.
Your Honor, it's just a robbery with a firearm.
Did you file on it?
No, Your Honor, but that's how the warrant came in, and that's the statute. I don't know where the conspiracy to commit came in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the warrant does just say robbery with a firearm.
It's just a robbery, Your Honor. Therefore, it's a PBL, and the state's asking that you hold him no bond.
All right, well, I guess I'll get back to that. Hold on, take a step back. I thought that was gonna go a little smoother than it did. Mr. McKee, what do you want?
I'll go forward.
Today?
Yeah.
Without your lawyer?
Yeah.
All right, state any input with regards to release? I'm asking the state attorney for their input, then I'll get to you.
Your Honor, he does have prior ag stalking and violations of conditional releases. He had a DV injunction served on him in June of 2021. He's already been in violation of that injunction, I think, due to having the ammunition. So state would just ask that you set reasonable bonds as to all counts, as he is otherwise entitled to it. That's all, Your Honor.
All right. All right, sir, is there anything, understand as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Is there anything that you want me to consider in determining conditions of your release. You can tell me anything you want, or you can remain silent. It's up to you.
I'll remain silent.
Okay. All right, on count one, the possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, I'll set your bond at $20,000. On count two, $150. Count three, $150. Count four, $150. Count five, $100. And count six, $100. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, and do not consume or possess any drugs or alcohol, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Pilgrim, out on bond, 21 CF 13731 AO, here today in 21 CF 16293 AO. According to the warrant, your bond on count one set at 25,000, count two 1,000, with conditions: no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene or the alleged victim's residence, no possession of firearms or other weapons, and may be modified by the first appearance judge. I'll appoint the public defender. Any input from the state?
Your Honor, given that count one is a PBL, state's asking that you revoke, or that you set at no bond. He is also out on bond.
What's the status of the case that he's out on bond?
The case that he's out on bond has not been filed, so state is asking that you take no action.
Okay. All right, anything from the defense?
As the judge who signed the warrant did set bond at $25,000, I would just have you stay the bond on the warrant, as well as count two, keep it at 1,000.
Mr. Pilgrim, let's see what's going on with him. All right, on the case he's out on bond, I'll take no action on that case. On the new case, I'll stay his bond at 25,000 on count one and count two and all conditions. Your name, sir? 2022 CF 169 AO, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of firearm or ammo by a convicted felon, grand theft, third degree of a firearm. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bond on count one. Count two, I'll set at $150, and count three, $150. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
What was the amount on count one, Your Honor?
I think it was 5,000, stated at 5,000.
Thank you.
Your name, sir?
Matthew Sickinger.
All right, 22 CF 228 AO, sale and delivery of fentanyl, public order crimes, attempted felony, third degree, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. The arrest affidavit. Appoint the public defender, and I'll set your bond on count one at $5,000, count two at $100. $150, and count three at $150.
Moment to confer, Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, what's your name? Okay. Ms. Sullivan, you're here in 21 CF 7117 BO on trafficking in methamphetamines greater than 14 grams via probable cause order. According to this, your bond set at $100,000. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney? Who's your lawyer? I'm sorry, who is it? Okay. Do you want me to continue this case to tomorrow so Mr. Pollock can come and represent you at this hearing, or do you want me to go forward with this hearing? Do you have any questions?
He was supposed to be here today.
I don't know. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
We can go through with it tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I'll roll you to tomorrow morning. It'll be about 11 a.m. if you want to contact Mr. Pollock and tell him that, okay? All right. Thank you. How about Crystalline Woods? Medical 21 CF 16059 AO. Aggravated stalking after injunction, contempt of court, contempt of court, contempt of court. Temporarily appoint the public defender. It's via PC. What do you want to do?
Waive, Your Honor, and she has no criminal history.
All right. I'll stay the bonds 2,500, 100, 100, 100. No contact with the victim. Do not possess, consume alcohol. Do not possess weapons. Is she bond?
She bonded.
She bonded. Never mind. So Campos. That's the last one I have. Yeah. Campos, nobody showed. What do you want to do? 22 MM 127 AO.
Your Honor, is this a bond hearing? Yep.
Right, today we're gonna set conditions of your release.
Okay.
You wanna go forward without your lawyer?
Yes.
All right, review the affidavit, found probable cause, state any input with regards to release.
Your Honor, state would just ask for a reasonable bond. It appears he did violate his domestic violence injunction that was put in place in August of 2021. It's only been approximately 4 months. The victim was able to show screenshots as well as phone calls of the defendant contacting her, as well as his mother contacting her. So state would just ask that you set a bond that is commensurate with that. State's not asking for no bond at this time.
All right, sir, understand as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. With regards to your bond, and your bond only in conditions of release, is there anything that you want to tell me, or do you wish to remain silent?
I wish to remain silent.
All right, I'll set your bond at $2,000, no contact with the alleged victim, and abide by conditions of the injunction. Understand that if you send her one more text message, we'll put you in here with no bond, okay? And then you can stay here until we figure things out. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank
see
you.
later. Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, all right. Anything else from anybody else? No. We're